It's time for pretty good news from the Wisconsin Maritime Museum.
Welcome aboard. I am Shane Lee of the Wisconsin Maritime Museum at Manitowoc. We begin this week's episode with a Two Rivers native who has connections to Manitowoc submarines from beginning to end. Wayne Hartlick talks about his time aboard a submarine and his grandfather who built the boats. The Manitowoc Shipbuilding Company built 28 diesel-electric submarines for the U.S. Navy during World War II. One of the 7,000 workers at MSBC was carpenter George Rady, Hartlick's grandfather. The World War I veteran held great admiration for the young men who would serve on the boats he built.
Shortly before he died, he decided one day to pull out this huge scrapbook, and he had pictures and diagrams and so forth of every submarine. And as he turned page after page, he would talk about how great these guys were, how brave they were, how courageous they were. And like halfway through, I said, "Grandpa, I promise you I'm going to become a submarine sailor to make you proud."
Hartlick joined the Silent Service hoping to join the crew of a submarine built by his grandfather. He was unable to do so, but he did get aboard USS Baya, the last submarine commissioned during World War II. Baya was a Baleo-class submarine just like the last 14 submarines built in Manitowoc. Hartlick says his proudest moment was earning his Dolphin insignia, proving he knew literally every part of the submarine.
It's an intense time, and when I finally earned those Dolphins, I felt like I had actually accomplished something that I knew most people in the entire world actually were never going to do.
Hartlick put his training to good use when a test went very wrong. What was supposed to be an innocent smoke bomb was actually a highly toxic Army oil field marker. The crew in the control and radio rooms passed out almost immediately, forcing Hartlick and others to jump into action.
People started putting on oxygen breathing apparatus, and we went into the control room and took over the operation of the submarine and surfaced it. And as soon as we got it surfaced, we opened the hatches and started ventilating to suck all of the bad air out of the submarine.
By the time Hartlick boarded Baya in 1967, she was an auxiliary submarine, used for research purposes. Baya's crew proved vital in advancing sonar technology. When the Navy decommissioned her in 1972, Baya was the last active diesel boat, marking the end of an era in fleet submarines. To engage with diesel boat veterans like Hartlick, you can visit the Diesel Boats Forever Facebook page. This week's featured artifact was found on the museum's own diesel boat, USS Cobia. Our building and grounds supervisor, Paul Rutherford, shares his discovery.
Hi, I'm Paul Rutherford with the Wisconsin Maritime Museum, the building and grounds supervisor here, and my favorite artifact, which is this sailor's bag here, that I found one day doing some maintenance on the Cobia. It was in the aft torpedo room, and inside the bag was the hand stamp with his name on it, a couple of sailor's poems, a drink book with some recipes in it, and a little shaving kit.
Thank you, Paul, for sharing that prime example of why it pays to clean. Now, for a good clean joke of the day, here is submarine curator Karen Duvall.
A very nervous first-time crew member asked the skipper, "Do boats like this sink often?" "Not too often," said the skipper. "Usually it's only once."
That joke is both funny and true, just the way I like my newscast. Just a reminder, no matter how bad things may seem, at least it is finally done snowing, and that is pretty good news.